camera is my webcam, and hopefully I use the second camera, my iPhone.
You have to be in Wi-Fi with both?
Yeah, in the same Wi-Fi, and sometimes it's a bit laggy.
I have just an observation, so I'm using this camera. This is only for documentation, so it will not be online or something.
Okay, so if you are Mac user, this is the second camera we can use as a second webcam. The special thing is we have to put the iPhone in the magic pose. It has to stand in landscape. Okay. In landscape, the screen has to be closed, and we don't move the phone, because otherwise Apple will not accept that it's the second camera. Well, I don't know the reasons, but so it is. Where's my phone sometimes?
But you can also use the webcam and an additional webcam via USB. On Windows, for example, you can also use two external USB cameras and have more flexibility to put them where you need them. Just have to figure out if
Hopefully it works.
had some problems yesterday with
the magic mode is weird. I don't know. Normally it's on the photo booth it works. Come, maybe we take the webcam as backup. It's also possible with Android and Windows PC, or we take the webcam as a second camera.
Sorry, what's the magic mode?
It's a special Apple thing. The magic mode is the iPhone has to be in landscape, don't move, and turn off the display.
it's just their policy of when the camera can be accessed.
And this is only for calibration?
This is only for calibration, but
the magic mode?
No, it's to use your phone as a webcam on your MacBook.
It's going by default or no? You have to
by default.
Yeah.
Where I think there's the option is called hands-on.
Thank you.
When you have a Mac, when you have an iPhone, you can take a look into this. It's really practical.
So, in Photo Booth or FaceTime it works, but in the Chrome web browser it doesn't work. For this we have to move it into the magic pose.
But
it's funny because I saw yesterday a tutorial. Someone was doing a tutorial using the iPhone as a second camera, as a web camera, and he was facing the same issues as you guys.
Yesterday we had the same problem, and a few minutes later it works.
That's why it's called magic.
Yeah, maybe. That's the magic.
Is it due to the fact of center stage, where you have to remain stable in center stage protocol, and then also the fact, it goes back to the legacy, problems with using third-party devices for webcams on Mac OS?
Could be.
smart guide on the website. But yeah, the person who will track has to be fit between between the two lines of this camera and this camera. So maybe who will be the first one?
One person to be our measurement.
So yeah, you have to move on the floor between the lines.
Yeah.
So maybe a bit backwards. And for this, a little bit more to this.
I can also move this one
And maybe
to. You can show me where exactly. Ah, yeah, okay. You have also this clip.
We use what we can.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's good. Next. So now we have to calibrate the cameras. For the first step, we take the floor marker. It has to be show up to the front camera on the floor.
This is also can be found in the tutorial. The two
Yeah.
files to download and to print.
And to print, yeah.
And I think the rest of the group has to be outside capturing.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Or outside of the visual. Yeah.
As far as you can.
This is done online or we have
Yeah.
a computer now? It's online.
It's online, yeah. It's online only tool, and the processing is on the Rocosoco side.
And I see that it already has mapped the surface
Yes.
with 12 or 9 squares were found
Yes.
there.
Yeah. Maybe when we finish, maybe we can see.
The second calibration. Normally we have to calibrate the different cameras.
Will this disappear, the ground calibration?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe, yeah, we can make some photos from it.
Normally you have to calibrate the different cameras in this step in 9 fields, but it's already done yesterday for these both cameras, so.
We can do it again, just to show.
Yeah, but I can't recalibrate it on the online tool.
Okay.
Maybe in another account, but.
So you calibrated once and
yeah, but it's super easy. You have to take the marker first for the front camera and get these steps, and the screen will be green for the right calibration. So now we can make the first. We can make the first capturing. If we can. So. Yeah, in 3 seconds you can move wherever you want. We can try it.
Wherever in this space.
Yeah.
in this space.
You have 50 seconds for every move.
15 or 50?
15. 15. Yeah. So maybe we can start again a new cap.
Okay,
So
so
you are prepared now?
I have to move slower, that's what you mean.
No.
No, it's
Are we
only in the area of the cameras.
So normally we can turn into an animation, and then the online tool starts the processing. I think it's very fast. Maybe the Wi-Fi. Okay, and after this processing, we can download an FBX file for importing to Blender, Unity, whatever you want for post-production, to map it on an avatar. And
this is like an offline process, so you pre-record, you let the engine process. They're using AI and computer vision stuff for this. And at the end you get an animation file out of it. Another thing that we have is for light. I'm not sure, should we now in parallel?
Yeah, maybe
Because
we
the
should,
process
we
is
can, while it's processing, we make a short overview about this, and then we split maybe 2 groups, and then we can make
record more movements also to have
more
much
movements of this, movements of this, and we can try everything out.
So this is an IMU based product from Sony. It's basically, it's really similar to the perception neuron. You have those wrist, ankle, hip, head markers. They're Bluetooth based, and there are a bunch of sensor inside with kind of mathematical magic happening to calculate, okay, when I'm here or when I do this movement, how much distance did I do? And in the combination of that and with the calibration process, you can track, like minimally track the human being. It is meant actually, the product is meant for VTubing, like VTubers, you know, like directly streaming into some software where you have avatars and you talk with on live on streaming or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's really basic. But still, you can record movements and use this in different engines. And there are some clips and straps and stuff. And I need also one person to prepare for this. Somebody? One person, you want that? So we have this for the head, the hip, and those. I need my phone to actually know what's going on.
This for the wrist on this.
This is for the wrist. I just have to check the position again. Yeah, and basically there's an app, and it's really a low cost, quite straightforward.
The low cost, the price tag for this system is $415.
It's not cheap, but it's like kind of like really first step into like this, and then
Yeah, but it's not very expensive either for the kinds of things you can do with it.
But you will also see the quality. You cannot compare with stuff like OptiTrack. It depends what you want to do. When you want to, I don't know, when you have a setting where you go outside a room and then climb somewhere up and then jump down and come inside the room again, then this is actually quite good because it's really, this is for the ankles.
And they're called Sonic, sorry. They're called Sonic something?
Or go outside.
It's from Sony.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And but the name? Mokopi. Mokopi. Yeah, Mokopi.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It works also maybe as a performance in the city. You can walk or dance through the whole city and stream the movement live through through an engine like Unity or something. And in this case, we are limited to this room of the camera capturing.
We'll connect them. Everything is explained good. And these will also have this drift problem because we don't have a camera from outside or some kind of device from outside where it can be relocated. So they always have to know where they are pose, and we still look in front. Ah yeah, stand up straight, move one step, step out straight. Okay. Now stand still, this is A pose, to the front.
You have to look to the front.
Ah, I think my sound was off, that's why you couldn't hear it. So the first beat is step forward. The first beat, wait.
The first bit.
I think that wouldn't be, but let's wait for calibration. Okay, I will turn it on. It is disconnected.
Reconnect.
Can you stand still for a really short time? Have to reconnect the. Okay, now.
Not even half.
So when the circle comes, then you stand still, and the first beat is the confident step forward.
Now.
Now. Yes. Another one. He was not happy with the timing. Let's do it again. Okay, that's good. And then let's view. I can maybe
Cool.
transfer on my screen, so all see what's going on. I hope this will work. Ah ja, MacBook. Why not? Okay, I will just try to show you here. And you can also move around in this space. You're completely free. You can go even outside the room, and you will still see it. And
Is it track fast moves? Very fast?
yeah, actually, it's really good to track. Maybe you can run down the.
Cool.
Yeah. So for this kind of stuff where you have a limited amount of space and you need some, rough things. But yeah, now this you can try. It's kind of the knees are estimated, the elbows are estimated, and when you do stuff on the ground, then there will be a spot where it kind of breaks because we don't have the information of the knees. For perception neuron, there would be more markers, I think, here and here and stuff, so it can be better tracked.
But it's still accurate enough.
It's still okay,
Yeah.
And the hands is not tracked,
Yeah.
but yeah, this would be then consult this maybe with there are also third-party hand gloves for tracking.
Yeah, you can combine different systems.
Yeah.
And what is its maximum range in terms of distance from the
phone.
of the body from the phone?
I mean, we could now go to take a coffee and you would be still tracked. I will walk around.
You can put the phone on your back and can go wherever you want.
And pre-calculated data is going into the app, and this is what we see. Yeah.
So directly from the phone to the app, it doesn't go through a server and then
it's
through
all,
the app.
it's all here. Yeah.
That's cool.
Does it record relative points, so this can be then, exported somehow, put into something else? So you
Yeah.
can record all this movement?
Yeah. Version 1 would be the recording.
Mm-hmm.
We record the movements and we stream it to Vogel Studio. That's we can also do it now. But we can already do it live.
So we can do it now, and I will prepare.
Here's the other stuff.
And does it also have the choice to change its appearance? Like
In here, yeah.
an avatar or?
In here even there are some,
It's on the
I think there are two sample avatars. You can also upload avatars here. You can use the standard anime girl. And you can also upload your own. But actually when you want to go further,
But they have different presets. There's also a blank avatar to get more information about your movement.
and tomorrow we will talk about avatars and avatar design kind of for those things. So it's kind of a little bit around, but having all the stuff that is floating, like hair or big clothes, kind of hides the imperfections of such a system, and then suddenly it really feels good and looks good.
This can go under fabric, I mean, custom design. Just hide it.
Yeah, that's just the problem, or that will be the problem on the engine side. And so I'm not streaming now. I will put you back on the human and settings.
For example, you can export this data and talking about costume design and put it together with a claw or design, the software for projects.
In digital.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I know there is a software called claw.
For
Yes.
Yeah. And this works with the Unreal Engine or what?
It should read the extension, right, of the file being
Yeah.
exported from
Yeah.
this app. So
If the software works with FBX files or something like that.
I don't know. I just heard from it.
Yeah.
But it's very.
But your custom design, different software are possible. Tomorrow is the 3D avatar workshop, so we look at Blender, not Blender, capturing photogrammetries of characters or cloth. But normally, every sculpting 3D software can work with FBX files. It's absolute standard
Okay.
file for movement or 3D meshes.
Maybe I should go this route.
So maybe while you set up this, we can go back to Rococo Vision. Here we can see the final animation of your capturing. So these are the two recordings, and this is the result. I think the resolution of the movement is a bit better than this system, because you have there you have no sensors on your elbows or knees, and the software know where
Catches more points.
Yeah. It's a short movement, but maybe we can take another capturing.
Yeah.
And
Where I can use my joints.
Yeah. So sometimes it drifts a bit, or the flow work, or yeah, some objects doesn't show the whole video. So
But here you did the this calibration of the space
yeah,
between those two cameras.
yeah.
And then I was sitting somewhere, and did the software also calibrate me somehow, took my measurements or something, so that it can...
No, you don't. You only have to calibrate the two cameras, and the rest is the magic of video AI from Vogel.
So basically it takes some data from what it's capturing on the camera, but also supplies with generated AI data or whatever to make it more realistic, I would say.
And this is
plugin that
So now we can download the movement as an FBX file automatically.
The main part is their suits, and this is their studio for their suits, and then they have this experiment
This is a scene
with
in Blender
like with only
I prepared
video,
yesterday
like a beta,
with different movements.
and they integrated already some different protocols.
And
So
these both characters are the movement of the video we saw before. I match it to a photogrammetry of a comic from Düsseldorf, and the second
around how much?
movement is pre-animated or preset animation from Mixamo. It's another interesting system, maybe also for you. It's yeah, from Adobe, a website, like an online archive for movement and characters.
You have much more
And we use it also for auto-rigging characters.
Suit here.
So you can upload your own character, and they have a super simple tool to auto-rig your character. So these bones,
and Blender. Blender I can also
hold on,
check a second.
so these bones are the Mixamo rig,
Yesterday Unity was not working.
and then I can import the FBX file from non-compression. This is this one, and map it on this rig, so they have both the same movements.
Nice.
And they have also the twist animation. It's a twist dance, some
already there.
some pre-animated
Record here.
animation
Post-process there, but you can also
or moves,
record
normally for gaming or
here, and then
something
you
like
have a
that,
file
or animation
later.
clips,
You can do whatever you want.
and it's all for free, of course, with Adobe. So
This records only that.
and you can also
This is one is another Adobe product.
yeah, this is it's an online platform, and Adobe buy it a few years ago. So yeah, and they have also a library for different character designs. You can download it, and you can choose,
3D visual
or maybe
stuff and
or you
real time movement, because there are a lot of
take this
plugins.
one and can choose an animation, maybe this one. And we have an online viewing tool how it fits to our character.
And the problem is that we didn't got to work here for the receiving.
And make some
Already used.
reaction. We can
But I
overdrive.
had an example of, no, I couldn't. Yeah, I had an example of pre-recorded.
It's not the best example, maybe.
And touch designer, briefly, what is that? Because I
It starts like this, and then after a couple of hours, we can go
You
overdrive.
create, I mean, you're manipulating.
And the realistic appearance of this
points
character from
or objects
the other tab that we showed us.
in 3D space,
before.
but just like it's actually
Blender?
mathematics. But a lot of
This,
stuff are kind of
yeah,
abstract
case and
when it
So you need, so if you were to green screen this in a film studio, you'd be fine for picking up that sort of movement in a very
I
big
think
volume.
it's the best setup, green screen, and maybe not black clothing, so the software analyzes the image. So if there are more reference points they make, that's better with the tracking. But I don't know
The maximum. I mean, this is kind of more like an experiment from the company.
Yeah.
They have the suits as their main products, and then they release this. And this really, like from a technical point, this really has the potential to be expanded with more cameras. Because now it's just a software problem that you reconnect them all together. But yeah, for now, I think,
I think a 20-meter stage is difficult.
yeah. Also for the resolution of the camera.
Yeah.
Resolution gets less accurate and all. I never saw like really somebody running more like distancing themselves from the camera than more than we do, actually, in the examples.
Now, can you take the data that comes off of her sensors, which are all the Bluetooth things, which really picked up movement of limbs very well, and then blend it into something that you've done, let's say, that's now going to show us three-dimensional movement in space? Because hers is all just two-dimensional framing, you know, with the Bluetooth sensors. Can you take that data and then transpose it onto an object in here as well? So that information can come across all of her limb movement, you know? Is that possible? Because that pickup looked, it was very good, you know, even though there's a lot of data points that aren't there, you know, it really shows limb movement well.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, even now,
Even now, yeah. Maybe we can do the calibration process again, because now you're kind of twisted over time.
It looks good.
Yeah, it looks more or less. You're a little bit twisted. We can do the calibration. Let's do the calibration. Recalibrate. Yeah, maybe in this direction we can now. Start calibrating. Be calm, and then. The step maybe again. Maybe this second step.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's too dark for the camera system.
Maybe again. Maybe two steps. Yep. That's good.
first step into motion capture.
You have to take a step in.
Yeah.
What we see here on the laptop is the Vogel Studio. That's the software that they feed their products with, their suits, but they also can pick up streams of other products, for example this. And there you can record, I think you can mesh things together, you can cut or pre-cut stuff, or then use it further in Blender or in Maya or Unity. But from this side you can also stream into another software on this side. And Unity, Unreal and Blender are three of those. And the Blender plugin works quite well. We already have her basically in the workstation. No. So at this point you can record stuff. You can make like small adjustments, and then record another thing, plug it into the first animation that you did. So you can work like in your area that you didn't get it to run on Unity, but I got the recording to run. And then you can do, of course, a lot of crazy things. So this is a recording that came out of the suit after the calibration. I think it's not smooth, or I don't know, maybe I was sitting down. No, it was you.
Yeah.
It was you. So we just did this really fast test. So this could be maybe a little bit more accurate. But here, I mean, you can, you know, start building things, adding things, visual effects, and stuff like that. So this would be kind of the place where things happening then, for example, for a performance.
Or interactive performance.
Or interactive
You can
performance.
control by visitors, and you give the walk animation, and the visitors push a button and let the character move forward, and you only walk on the same place, and you can match up different input options.
But I don't know even how to put it, sorry. But you can edit, for example, you have two recordings of a movement, and you want to cut some frames. You can edit them and or made a fluid passing from the first one to another one.
Yeah, this is obvious, a little bit tricky or difficult. So the easiest way is a cut in a T-pose.
Yeah.
Both animation ends and start with a T-pose or A pose, or in the same pose. So actually, and you can like in a video cutting, you can make.
But you cannot correct, for example.
You can correct by yourself, but it's super difficult. And with a simple, you can make it in Blender or Unity or something like this software. But for example, the Mixamo rig is super simple rig. With not so much option, but there are many more rig systems. They give you more possibilities.
They are more versatile.
Yeah.
To edit.
But basically you would have to, so you have one movement that stops here, another movement that starts here.
Yeah.
So if you cut it, then you would need to add a transition movement that was not recorded by anything. So that somehow you would need to generate this movement from somewhere.
Yeah, you can animate it like in trick film animation, but it's the professional level.
Okay.
Yeah. So because you can imagine if you move this hand to this, everything has to follow this in an exact good direction or realistic reaction. So, and this is the difficult between the different rigs, how complex the rigs are, and the most complex rig, that's a bit,
you have more data.
you have more data to move.
I wonder if it would be possible the next tools with the AI exactly to approximate, as I've seen in, I don't remember which one, but it was an AI approximation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a bit difficult to move or make realistic movement by keyframe animation. Of course, there are super experts in Hollywood. They make it every day, but
and this were movements with the X-sense and the wife tracker. And this part is one animation circle, and the transition. Or maybe you can.
You know, the ray tracing based on volumetric scene.
Yeah. So this is the transition.
Flow dynamics that you see.
It's not realistic, but it takes
Yeah,
maybe one day
just,
for this transition
like
to.
one.
It's
To be
very
animated.
difficult.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it just reflection we're looking at?
And now
Because the points can't line up, so we're seeing that reflection.
they move to the whole archive.
You mean the blue?
Yeah, yeah, you said.
Oh, it was just an experiment.
It was
and
another
there
mode, right? Yeah.
is some line in the renderer.
Yeah, also you can use a pillar to mask the
Yeah.
transcript and passing it behind like a
So
wolf in
it's
the
always
cartoon.
cool to have turned Windows
This is
around.
another performance
So,
speaking
oh,
application in
it's
this
taking a
archive.
long time, and then we see.
On this camera, so you can put on the face mask of the opera and capture a short snippet, like in TikTok or something like that, with your name and hopefully a feminism message, and get into the archive with your own content. And yes,
See, so
it's part of
that
the
reflection is following, it's a reflective following.
the rest. This was 10 cycles of movements. And they are transition. Maybe we see one. I think it's a 10 minutes animation.
Breaking up all the time.
And the post-processing made by hand.
Granted, this bone to.
The bone leaves within the path.
There was, I mean that it was
Yeah.
6
Yeah,
actually
Yeah.
for the whole animation,
Yeah.
and the transition keep maybe
That to
2
me is more
minutes.
interesting, actually.
Yeah, those are then the stuff that you can do, you know, like because you have all the stuff, and then you can
And also fix some clipping
think
or
of what's.
shaking hands or something like that.
You also do it in on heat.
But sorry for the stupid question. This is a video here, or it's just.
It's 2D. The character is 3D, but
Yeah, no, but
the
now.
environment is 2D.
Yeah, but now it's a video playing in the background in HTML or.
No, it's a loop, but it's not in video in the background. It's a GLTF file. It's a 3D file for web.
Okay.
Yeah.
This I didn't know how to put it.
Pretty
Yeah.
stationary.
It was super difficult to develop.
It's a big piece. And
Everything is custom in this archive.
Faster the movement, the longer the line.
By a very talented colleague of us.
Okay.
And the GLTF files are
How it's written?
Oh, she's
GL.
connected.
GL
GL.
You can just turn.
or GLB. Yeah. These 3D files are ready for web.
And they are already by default interpreted by the web browser, so you don't need a player or anything to render them in the web browser.
Yeah. They are some custom web shader for the avatar as well. Yeah.
yeah, I was just showing some stuff that you can do afterwards in after you record the session. You can also put it directly in Unity and make crazy stuff with it, or make it interactive. This is a recording from yesterday.
Like those trails, right?
Like those trays, that's just a component of Unity that you can just click, like you do a trail, or you can connect the limbs with the tray, size of the trail or the intensity, the color intensity. So yeah, from this point on, everything is kind of up to you, up to the artist.
Looks like digital generated light painting.
Yeah.
The path is always following. Now, can you model that directly in real time with her movement?
Yes, well, you can definitely, but for some reason the Unity plugin is not picking up on this Vogel Studio.
Okay.
But I know that this works because we work with this in the lab.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's probably either with my computer because I'm on Mac, or the Wi-Fi has some settings that is not allowing the data to be transferred. I don't know.
Okay. Now, can you get rid of the? I'm sorry. Can you get rid of the humanoid object so I just see the ray tracing happening?
Mhm.
So if there's a dancer out there, and this is live, those tracings can happen either, it's always catching up to her until the object points become stationary, but those ray tracings can become available. So it would follow that stuff. So if this was then projected on a LED screen behind it, you have motion.
Yeah.
And if you're going to set this up for, now this is always following motion, right? It's afterwards. Can data points be translated into, let's say, water particles? So if I accelerate my hand through the field, that those water particles would go beyond it, like it would be like energy stretching forward instead of following?
Yep. Yeah, this is all in,
I don't have the video prepared, but we have a project of some students in the last year. They make pole dance. Pole dance. And we installed hologase in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a hologase?
No.
It's a projection surface out of silver.
like a plastic, it's mesh.
Yeah, it's a super fine mesh.
With LED filaments
No,
in it?
you need a projector and project the projection on it. But
it's transparent.
Yeah, it's transparent. It's like a holo effect.
Okay.
And the performance was behind, and the particle system follows their arms and feet, and
On the surface.
on the surface, and it was a holographic effect, and while performing in live tracking with Kinect.
The material, how it's called?
Hologase. It's from.
That's nice because you have live movement, and you put on top of it like some digital stuff that's generated by the live movement, and it's real life. That's cool.
Yeah. Hologase. It's made.
This is a trademark. So this is a kind of
This
product
is
by
from
some company.
Garcia. It's a German company based in Berlin, and we have a collaboration.
I'm not selling their products, but we have a collaboration.
They have some. They don't have videos.
Personally, I get it.
I think the generic term for this kind of product is scrim, like SCRIM. Scrim.
Screen projection.
Yeah. So it's similar to the ABBA performance.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're 3D tour.
Yeah. So
We're not really here tour. Works like that. Now, how many of those devices that she's wearing, how many individual people could you put them on in one stream? In other words, could I have 5 people with all those things on at the same time and it would discreetly pick up all 5, you know, or is...
I think so. Rocco Studio, there's a possible, but I don't know if you need for each system a single
A
phone.
receiver?
Yeah.
Okay, receiver. So in other words, it's a gathering point. You can't take one phone and set up 5
Yeah.
dancers on stage or 6.
I
It
think
should
you
be
will
an
need more
individual
phones.
dancer.
Yeah.
Well, you know. Okay.
Any other questions? To this
For the
proposal?
data.
So everything we have today, we put together for a follow-up and put it online.
Ah, cool.
Oh, great.
Also the name of the products and so on.
Yeah,
That's-
the
we
product
did not get
names, the presentation of Ivana, and also a quick guide of this session with both of the systems.
Thank you.
I
Great.
had 2 more questions,
Yeah.
very, let's say, far-fetched from the very specific technical
Yeah.
topic that we discussed here. One would be, because I saw the themes you were using
Yeah.
to project Ivana and it was blurring back. Do you know that is it also that a kind of motion capture basic technology that they use in order to blur back the background and then just to see when you move? Because it's interesting, I was also asking myself in other occasions how they are doing that easily. Because they are doing it live and it shouldn't take too much of your network bandwidth to do that, to transmit from what you get from the camera to the servers.
I think, I think it's done just by stationary background masking, right? That's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you move, the background blurs here and then
Oh,
you
yeah,
are...
that's because you come into that frame, it's just, that's the problem. You come into that frame reference point, so you move through that area. So it takes a while to recalibrate.
And I think the
what's
processing
stationary.
is on your device.
Yeah.
It's not cloud-based. So the camera application will analyze the video frame
Mhm.
and stream it to Teams.
Yeah, this was, as I said, a far-fetched question, just a curiosity of mine. And the other one, because we talked about the movie industry, and we saw that the biggest money that they are doing is there on motion capture. But now we have AI, which is getting better and better. Do you, in your opinion, from what you have seen, because you're working with these tools a lot, do you think this will downsize the part of motion capturing in the movie industry and it will be much more replaced by AI? So this is kind of...
Or
it
maybe,
will become...
of course, it will be a larger market for AI system in the motion capturing industry, but maybe you never know. It's a wild guess.
Yeah.
So
I was just curious how you perceive it, you guys which are working with this technology. It's just a personal opinion, of
We
course. It's
definitely
not something...
saw everything what is happening in the movie stuff is ending up in our place at some point, and then they using the more advanced stuff. So that's what Ivana said before.
Right, you are 5 years
At some
behind
point,
sometimes.
what we see there, then this can be like printed out, stuck here, and use 3 iPhones or whatever, 3 cameras at home, and it's not using
I think interesting is volumetric videos for this. So we have another research project on it. They work with, I don't know, a bunch of Kinect cameras, like a tracking cabin, and they make recordings with Gaussian splatting. I don't know.
I'm not familiar.
It's months, it's crazy.
There was
So-
this one example from Fabian.
And of course, one of the biggest money is in the military systems.
Drones.
They use it also. It's not everything. Not everything is fun with these systems.
Of course. And also the applicability in the medical
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, but yeah, the most of the money comes from Hollywood and the military.
Yeah.
In the research of motion tracking and of course AI. It's
Even
the
the
same.
internet was a military project at the beginning, so.
And about your question, I only hope that AI will not ever hit the star system in Hollywood, because if you all saw Kung Fu Panda, it's more interesting to find out that Shifu's voice was Dustin Hoffman's voice. If I would learn that it was an AI generated voice.
Yeah, but to the bigger audience, I don't think it would make a difference if you can generate the same Dustin Hoffman voice.
Yeah, but then
It's another
we
another
lose the
discussion.
It's a topic.
A topic.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah, this is really short video. Very poorly crushed one. But this is it's not capturing the it captures basically all the data, all the visual data, brings it together in real time. No real time yet. That's it has to be processed. But then you have a moving representation of what was happening. And the most important thing is it's not a 3D model. It is something else. It's
It's
another.
like point cloud.
Yeah, it is in the base. It's a point cloud. Like you see in some interactive stuff or some in when you scan an object. But this point cloud has another. It's just different calculated, so you can also see reflections inside. Not only inside a mirror, but also reflections like specular light on a teacup. And stuff. And this is the same stuff like another level above. Those points can be animated, and yeah, I mean this is what basically we want to go, like a perfect representation of the dance, how it was collected, for archiving and not for maybe live performance.
Maybe in the future.
For live performance, yeah, sure. It's just a matter of processing power, and we saw in the past that we just have to wait for some years, and suddenly we have Apple Silicon chips where you cannot believe how fast they are in comparison with everything that is out there, and it's just normal now since a few years.
Yeah, as with everything,
Yeah.
the power of processing increases, and maybe also the software becomes better itself, so it's easier to achieve.
In your studios back home, what sort of GPU equipment do you have there? You know, what do you guys run Intel-based chips? You know, what GPUs do you run? Apple Silicon? Is there anything that you guys prefer if you're going to go down this route and let's say start a small little thing, want to do some experimentation? What would you say is the best sort of hardware to start cultivating?
It depends.
Depends, but definitely Windows. Windows is a little bit more supported than Mac stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the OptiTrack rig is not that powerful. Like it's not the latest, but it's like maybe like the power of like a computer from 2 years ago. So it's good performance, but not no like 15,000 euro rig that you have especially made for this. Of course, when you have capturing with all the camera processing, that's a little bit more heavy. But yeah, and everything is meant to be run on a normal computer. You don't need a special build rig with multiple graphic cards or something like that, like a server rig or something.
But if you will use AI, you need more powerful rig. But in most cases we work with Windows or Linux, with standard gaming PCs with the largest graphic or GPU from NVIDIA.
And for starting out those things, there are. I mean, yeah, these are both really simple systems, and then depends on then what you want to do. When you plan some live performance or some recording, and the style of dance or the style of performance is also important. What you use, but yeah, these are kind of the quick wins for the prize.
I think we are ready. If you don't have questions for now, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very entertaining and
And
interesting.
yeah, hopefully we see us tomorrow for the other web
Yeah.
versions. Or maybe in the evening while the performance
Yes.
in this house today.
So starting at 6 o'clock until 9:30, there's gonna be an installation down here. It's also part of the festival. It's
There's
called
still
Temporal Spaces.
it's a walkthrough thing, right? Is that
Yes, so
Yeah.
walk through, stay
participant
through,
and
yes,
yeah, okay.
yes.
Nice.
Great.